Hello everyone, I am Nu-Trix, and today I'm going to answer a question about the cloud, the Roland Cloud Manager. It's something that I see often. People are saying stuff about the Cloud Manager that are not what it is. They misunderstand, and I think that in a point, there's a reason for that, is that historically, the first thing we learned about the Roland Cloud about, 4 years ago, was the fact that it was a membership only at that time, if I'm not mistaken. And it might got into people's heads saying, that's the way it is, so I'm not interested if I don't want membership. And over the years, it changed into something else. Now, the Roland Cloud is the concept of everything that Roland does software-based. You can download and use on your computer or on specific hardware devices. But it's mostly now a Roland Cloud manager. So it's mostly a manager of licenses. So it's like any other company where you download a software on your computer and you can just verify that you're the right owner of these licenses, and it can install and download and update and all that stuff. But it works two ways. It works basically for software that runs into your computer. That's one thing. Or expansions, if you want, for your hardware devices. So there's like two different reasons why you would like to have the Roland Cloud Manager. It's basically to manage your licenses. For example, I've got the System 8 here. If I want to have new plugins for this, well, I need to have the Roland Cloud Manager to be able to have the right, the licenses to be able to download these other plugins. And now that they're in my computer, I can actually export them and send them into my System 8 because that's how it works. But it could also be buying model expansions for the MC707, the Jupiter XM, all these other devices that can be expanded. Or even in the Jupiter XM, you have the vocal producer. You have to buy it because it expands the hardware. So it's not a membership. And now that's the other question. People tend to say that the Roland Cloud is only a membership. It's not. There's membership and there's lifetime keys. The two of them are available. Membership, basically, you understand you can pay monthly or yearly to have access to a suite of software and solution and options depending on what you want. And it becomes interesting as the amount of different software that you want to use from Roland is expanding. You might want to look into the membership. But if you just want to have a few of them, then it's simpler to just go into lifetime keys and buy this synth and this plugin and that plugin, and that's it. So that's kind of where you stand. And I'm not going to go debate about membership good or wrong. Honestly, for my experience, I find myself paying the same amount over 3 years. What I say by that is that I had to upgrade my full version every about 3 years, and it cost me the same amount of money as paying a membership. So in the end, it doesn't really make a difference if you keep up to date. But I understand people saying, no, I want to have my copy and decide when I want to update, and it's fine. If you look to have the membership for Roland Cloud, it's because what they offer suits what you would like. Let's actually look into the different type of membership content if you want. First of all, let's go back to the first page. When you open the Roland Cloud on your computer, which is the Roland Cloud Manager, you get the news. Of course, remember that the Roland Cloud is free to install. You've got the Core, you got the Pro, you got the Ultimate, and you have a monthly fee or a yearly fee. Like for $30 US for a year, you get the Core membership. The Pro is $100 a year, and the Ultimate is $200 a year. So it's not that bad because it's the price of sometime just one plugin, you know? Some plugins cost more than that. So you buy just one, you pay for $100, $200 yearly, and you get the whole thing. Ultimate, you get everything that Roland is offering. Now the question is, what is part of these? So you click on it to have more information, and you'll see that. First of all, remember that the Roland account is free, because if you don't want to rent, you can just buy. Of course, you buy through this account, and you pay per, whatever thing you want to buy. So you've got the Core, the Pro, the Ultimate, and the Lifetime Key. Now, the Core has If you look at the Zenology section, they separate it into the type of software or option that they have. You have Zenology in the core and Zenology effects. So Zenology is the synthesizer that runs the same sound that you have in the Jupiter X, XM, in the MC 707, 101. So the same engine, you have it here as a synthesizer in Zenology. If you want the Pro to create your own sound, then you need to get the Pro membership or buy the Pro once. The plugin itself, the Pro, is $229. So basically, at that point, you're better off, in my view, renting it. The Zenology effects, 93 or 96 effects, these are synthesizer effects that they pull out and exist by themselves. So distortion, delay, compression, filters. You get the Juno chorus. So all of these different, synthesizer effects that you find in all of their hardware, you find them in as a separate unit, as a plugin in Zenology effects. Now you've got also model expansions. Model expansion, you see, you don't have them. The model expansions are new models inside Zenology that also exist for hardware. And model expansions are the Jupiter 8, the SH-101, some Junos. These are actually model of classic synthesizers inside the Zenology or the ZenCore technology. So you will find them in these hardware devices like the Jupiter, some of the Phantoms, the MC101 and 707, but you also will find them in your computer. So these are the model expansions. You can buy each of them separately for $150, or you can have them part of the membership. You've got, of course, sound packs for each of them. They're specifically made for these model expansions, so you can buy them separately or they're part of the package. Sound banks that are for standard, so the SDZ. So these are the standard and wave expansions. So these are the waves that you can load into Zenology, and use these new sound packs and waves expansions. So waves expansions are new samples that are be prepared and used, you can put in, and sound packs are basically new settings, presets that you can play with. Now, then you have the virtual instruments. So these are not Zenology anymore. These are plugins, VST, audio unit plugins that you can run on your computer, and you have all of them here. You've got the Cloud Concerto piano. You've got Drum Studio. It sounds like acoustic one to sound like a real drum. Terra Collection. These are more acoustic sounding instrument. Flavor are more 90s urban electronic samples, mostly based. Anthology. These are sounds of the past. There are big hits. Collections type of creating these sounds. But again, these are more like rumplers you can play with. But then you have all of these recreation of classic synthesizers using ACB technology. Most of them, anyway. The JD800, I'm not sure. I think it uses behavior technology. And the ACB technology is the one you find in the first two waves of boutique synthesizers and in the System 8. And, surprise, surprise, in the new 3 very portable model of Roland era, the T8. There's a drum machine, there's like a Juno little box for chords, and there's a vocoder. So these 3 are using ACB. So this technology is not gone. It's specifically made for hardware. Some of these here are plugins that also runs in the System 8, so plug outs in that way. So you see that they're not part of the core and they're not part of the Pro outside of the first one here. When you get into a recreation of what they call the legacy synth models, then it's not always available. It is in the Ultimate, but it's not in the Pro. When you get the Pro, you can activate 2 legendary instruments. So you can select which one of the 2. But remember, you can actually install all of them for like 30 days, test them out and say, finally, I want to have the Jupiter and the JD800, whatever it is. Then you've got software effects. So Zenology effects, we talked about it. You get the Juno 60 chorus, which is a new chorus they have, which is exactly just that. It's an ACB technology, if I'm not mistaken, running the Juno chorus. Now, again, you can buy it by itself, like a plugin. Everybody can buy it. Or you can have the Ultimate for that. Patches, patterns, you can buy them or get them. the apps, though, that's interesting. When you get the core, you get Zen Beats. So if you're like me and you really like Zen Beats, because Zen Beats, you can actually synchronize the same software on your Mac, on your PC if you have a PC, on your iPad, on your iPhone. You can save online, save back into the, so move your stuff around. With the core, which is $30 per year, you get that. You get that Zen Beats for all of your platform. You can save and exchange with it. So this is really not a lot of money and for what it is, and it's always updated fairly rapidly. You have the Zen Tracker, which is a multi-track recorder, again, on a telephone. It's very portable, and there's unlimited tracks. So it's like Zen Beats, but just for recording audio and mixing audio. So, which is, again, pretty cool. You cannot buy these things as lifetime keys. These are really just their software that you can have. You have the Beat Sync Maker. I never tried that. Don't know what it is. The 4X camera and the 4X camera maker. I did videos about these things. They're really for either filming or doing live streaming with using multiple cameras at the same time. They're synced together and they save the information to one unit and send it back. So look in the links or look in the link here for if you're interested in that. So, but these are part of the whole thing. Then it's a question, do you want to have all of these legendary synthesizers? If you want, then you want to have the ultimate, and it's going to cost you $200 per year. So the price is okay for all of that. It's always that question, what do you get for the price? For that price, I think it's good. I think it's good. Now, there's also the offers. If you want to buy stuff, like you just want to go buy the Zenology Pro. Now you can, with $500, you get the Pro Synth, you get the Zencore model expansion, the GX8P, the Jupiter 8, the Juno 106, the SH101. So you get, 5 synthesizers for the price of $500, which is a good price. And then there's something else. There's, like I said earlier, we just looked at what was part of the membership, but there's other stuff you can buy that can only be bought because it's not for a membership, it's for hardware. Like you see right here, you've got the V-Drum TD50X model upgrade. Well, you can upgrade the model with this. Like there's also, if we go on the side here, you get hardware. And then it shows you, if you look at the top, let's talk about a bit of how to maneuver through this. So I'm in hardware on the side. It's kind of a big filter if you want. And at the top, you can filter by devices. Okay, I want to talk for the Phantom. So this is anything that is linked to the Phantom 6, 7, or 8 hardware synthesizer. These are the model expansion you can have. Of course, if you have the model expansion part of your ultimate package, then you can download them free. They're part of it. And then you can put them into your hardware. But example, this one here, the top one, the Enzyme, which is a new model expansion specifically for hardware for the Phantom. You can only buy it. You cannot rent that. It's part of the download. So some of that stuff, which is specifically for hardware, will need to be bought and paid separately. But most of it is built in. Like if you go Jupiter X, like I said earlier, you've got a Jupiter X editor software. Free. You download, you have it to run your screen on your computer and edit in real time. But the vocal designer, you need to buy it. I have the lifetime key, so you can download it when you bought it. But if not, you need to buy the lifetime key. But if you go JD800, which is not a lifetime key, which is a model expansion, it's available to download. But then you put in a key and install it in it. You get the Juno X, the latest that just came out. You get the editor, and you get all the banks that you can actually use it. MC, anything that is linked to the MC, you've got these banks of sounds, and that's the other thing. They have new sounds every month, so it's also getting membership to new banks of sound monthly. So it's really interesting if that is one thing you like. MV1, you also have mostly banks of sound for it. RD88, which is a piano, expansions for the sounds of the piano, SB, you've got the app to actually edit it, and you've got banks of sound for it, TR6S and TR8S, you have the editor for it, and you've got kicks and patterns. So these you download and then you copy on the SD card and you put it at the back and you can load it directly into that. V-Drum, again, the upgrade. There's module expansion. So these are some of them you can just download and some you need to buy. So you need to understand the differences between the two. And if you go software, you get all of the software. Let's say I want to say, this is where you kind of navigate between the Zenology stuff, the Legendary stuff, the SRX, which are recreation of banks of sounds of the JV 2080, JV 1080, the XV. It's all these things here. You want the brass. These are the expansion kind of that existed for that. You got stuff for the era. You got recreation of the System 8 and System 1. You got Anthology. These are the banks I just talked earlier. Concerto drums should be here. Here you get the piano. You've got the guitar. You've got real drums, studio. You got drums specifically just for drums. The recreation of the 606, 707, 727. So all of them are using ACB technology. Same thing as in the boutiques and the TR8S and the TR8 and the new T8. And that's it. You just go through that. But now if you say, I want to download that stuff, you go into library and you see everything you've got access. And you see on the side here, you can actually select what is locked and unlocked. Say, in my case, I can say what's locked. I only have these are locked. You see? Because these are expansion for hardware, which I need to pay to get. Everything else is unlocked because I have the full Ultimate account. And when you want to install something, say I want to install this, the SP, I can click on it to get to the page of the information. But also I can say I want to filter out as I just want to see drums, or I just want to see, let's say, Jupiter XM, what's compatible with it. And then I want to have stuff for the hardware. So, Vocal Designer. So that's a hardware model expansion. Or no, I want to have software only. And stuff that I didn't install yet. So stuff that is installable. So I can install the JD8 model expansion. And these are new banks of sounds. Okay, so I'm going to go install, and install. So these will be installed on my computer. If it's something that I have to download, it's going to be downloaded, and there's a process I need to do, like put on the key and put it in and install it in the device. If not, if it's part of the software section, let's say I want to go here, software all, and this, and say all, and I would say, let's say just Anthology. Let's say I want to install, I don't know, I want to install this one. If I want to know what about it, I can click on it. It tells me what this is. Oh, Rave Until Dawn again. And this is type of the synthesizer. I can see the spec, what it is. I can listen to some of the sound usually. This case, it doesn't seem to be like that. I'm going to go back to the library. If I say I want to download this, I press on install, and it's going to install on my computer. It's going to install in the right place, and I just have to open my DAW. Worst case, scan for new plugins, and it's there. These are not standalone synthesizers. These are plugins. So you need to run them into your DAW. They're not standalone. That's how it is. That's it. So you can actually buy stuff or take the membership, depending on what fits your bill. It's a question of taste. If you like these sounds, I think that the Ultimate or the Pro are a good option. If you just want to have one or two, buy them. It's going to be yours. You're going to be happy with that. So just pick the one that you find interesting and go with it. That's it. I hope it's a little bit clearer what the Cloud Manager is and how it works and why you would like to have it or use it. I'm a big fan of Zen Beats. So, even for $30 per year, having the Zen Beats installed on 3 different platforms, being able to sync between them, for me, it's a huge deal. So, and I don't see other company offering something like Zen Beats for $30 a year. We'll do a video about that if you're interested. That's it. Stay safe, make more music. See you soon. Cheers.